So you want to charge your customer a credit card processing fee when they use the portal and use a credit card. You essentially want to make money in 2025. In this economy, you're very cute. But don't worry, I'm going to get you there. So first things first, you want to do a service item called credit card processing fee. Very simple. The most important thing about this item is the sales price. So in this example, I put it as 3, which would mean 3%. Okay, so whatever makes sense for you, that's what you want to put. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the Payments app, click on Manage, and customize the portal screen. That's your guest payment screen. Okay, so I've already customized it. And this is a specific customer that I have here. But scroll all the way down and find the Pay Now button, because that's where all the action happens. In here, skip all the stuff that validates and go down to the where the total amount is greater than 0. So you have an if statement which tells you if the total amount is less than 0 and things that happen. But if it's greater than 0, you know, when there is a total amount, then add another button. So I added another button somewhere in my functions that's hidden. It's called function add credit card processing fee, and that's where you want to add it. Okay, so in this button, you want to add the following actions. First, you want to retrieve the item details. That would be, in this case, record ID number 857, but that's the credit card processing fee item. I was just afraid that they might add another item that have the words credit card fees or something like that. So I take the record ID directly. Take the price, the description. You don't really need the record ID, you have it. Next thing you do is you put together the description of the item itself. So in my case, it's 3 because it's dynamic. I don't know what the customer is going to change it to. Maybe they want to change it to 3.5 tomorrow. I don't know. But essentially, I take the sales price, which is I retrieve there, put percent, and then the description. So it's going to say 3% credit card processing fee. I divide by 100. So 3 divided by 100 to get the percentage itself. And then what I do, this is the total amount that's on the screen. So when the payment screen first loads, it takes the total balance of all the invoices that you have selected that's open. So the balance that is open, and it calculates it, puts it in the total amount field on the screen. So you know that you have the right number to calculate. And what I do is I multiply it by the percentage to get the fee. And then I show the user a message that says, do you want to continue? You're going to have to pay a credit card fee. If they say yes, then I loop through the invoices that were selected, right? Because I want to add the item to those invoices to match the payment. So I loop through the invoices that were selected to this payment. They exist in the record transaction IDs control. It's also saved on the screen. That's why it says control here. And then I calculate the specific amount by the percent. This should probably be the balance remaining. For this specific customer, they do the amount on its own. But in your case, you might want to do it for balance remaining if you do partial payments on invoices. And then I add the invoice line that's actually kind of specific to this customer. So I'm just going to skip this and show you where I add the invoice line itself. So that would be the invoice that you're on, that you're looping, and all the information that we've calculated about the processing fees. And then last but not least, sync that or attempt to sync that to invoice with QuickBooks. In the case that they say no, so in the else statement, then I say, please contact us for further assistance, payment not complete. They didn't accept that, and then we do nothing, we stop. So now that we have the percentage calculated in the total amount, and we have, last but not least, you have to call the total amount, calculate total amount. That is the default method way in that screen on how to calculate the amount. So what's going to happen now, it's going to go back to those invoices because you added that new item, and it's going to add, to recalculate the amount. But because you multiplied by the percentage, it should equal up. So that's the very first step. Second is you need to take into account if in the case that the user declines the payment, if the payment gets declined by the credit card processing. So if you go back to the Pay Now button, here's our credit card processing fees. You want to go to the process payment routine. So this one you've added, right? Because you've created the button that's separate called this. And then this is one that exists already in this action set. So just jump into this action set and scroll all the way down. So you want to skip all the things that kind of validate. You want to look for the one where it says if the payment setup is yes, right? Sorry, no, you want to skip to see if it's approved or pending. So once you get to this action set, which is probably action number 21, the approved or pending, you want to go into the else portion of that if statement. And then at the end of that if statement, somewhere you want to add this delete value from the invoice line. So I do in list, so where the invoice record ID is in list of those invoices that we have selected, meaning that if I have, let's say, 5 invoices that I've selected, then delete from the list of all those 5 invoices, and the item is the credit card processing fee. That should just take care of it automatically. If there is no credit card processing fee, nothing's going to happen. And that's it. That should take care of it. Hopefully that's useful. Make sure to subscribe or talk to me. I'm always happy to help. I'll speak to you on the next one.